All right, so we're here today with Selena. Congratulations, Selena, for your nomination. So, what made you go into filmmaking?
Yeah, so for me, it's interesting because when I was born in Italy, and then when I was 7, I moved to China with my mom. And at the time, I don't really speak any Chinese. So I was watching a lot of TV, and that's how I learned about like the language and also like kind of the culture too. And since then, like television has always been like a friend because I'm also like a how do you say it, like a single child. I don't have any sibling, so
Okay,
I'm always just with television. And then I used to want to be an actor, and when I was growing up, I didn't know there was producer, there's director. I only know like the actor who are on the television. But when I realized that there are more people who are working behind the camera, and I think because of my personality of like wanting to like plan things and making sure everything happens, I when I realized there's the producer role, I was like, that's what I want to do. And then on the other hand, I also saw it being a third culture kid, mixed race. I saw it from the first-hand perspective that it's really important to see representation on screen because I never saw myself being represented. So as a filmmaker, I want to make sure that it's my goal for my career.
okay, nice. Thank you so much. And what is your favorite movie?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Whenever people ask me that, I don't know how to answer because I feel like at every stage of my life, like I will have like a favorite movie and then it change when another one comes out. Um, one of my favorite movie is a woman of a lady of the portrait of a woman, a lady on fire. And I find myself usually very attached to movies that are character driven, and it's more about like the journey of their emotional journey, and um and more about like how we as human like live our life and like experience ourselves and define our identity. Probably part of because myself, I also struggle a lot with my identity. So I think like character driven movie, it's usually my favorite. And same with television. Like most of my favorite TV show are very character driven. Like one of my favorite show is Killing Eve, and recently The Last of Us, which is interesting. I did not expect that to be a character driven show. It was like completely out of my expectation, and I really liked it.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's surprising, right? The Last of Us.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I was expecting like a zombie show, but it's actually
Yeah,
like character driven and about the character and their emotional journey and everything.
and your film is like that, right?
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
character driven and very emotional. And congratulations for it again. It's a super nice film.
Thank you.
And if you had the occasion, how would you make that, like your last movie better? How would you make that film better if you could?
hmm I would say, I mean, as a producer, budget, it's like, of course, if we have more budget, that would be ideal, but sometimes that's not the ideal situation. There's something, the last movie, like All I Ever Wanted, for example, we really had very constrained budget, so we had to make sacrifices in order to make it work creatively and also budgetly. So if I can do it again, I hope that we can like have more time to prepare and also have more time to raise more funding if needed. And I think the other thing I would do differently is probably at the time I was also producing my second feature, Young Kings. And because I was doing that and I was the solo producer on that film and it's a feature film, it took up a lot of my time. So I have learned from that experience that it's better to know your limitation because you can't take on too much. It's just something as human, it's like impossible to do everything yourself. And I would say ask for help when needed. Like I will have if I can do it differently, I would probably try to have like someone else to help me and try to balance in both like in a better way so that both film can become like the best of themselves.
Yeah, I agree. Filmmakers, they take a lot on their shoulders, right? Most of the time.
Yeah. So I learned not to do that, like to recognize that and ask for help when needed.
Okay, nice, thank you. And why did you choose that particular subject for the film that you submitted?
Yeah. So that's all I ever wanted. It's like it's one of the project involved film. So I was accepted into this program with Film Independent, which they recruit 30 filmmakers, 6 producers, 6 director, and then 6 writer, cinematographer, editor, and so on. And then the writer would come up with story. And during the development stage, we all just listen and nobody's attached to any project yet. And for me, I was very drawn into the story because it's a story about coming of age story of a queer woman. And it's just something that I have never seen, or like it's not really often seen on screen. And it just resonated to myself. So when during the development stage, I saw like I remember it was the log line, it wasn't even the script. And I was like, I think I want to do that one.
Yeah, it was so nicely made also, and the teenage aspect of it was really interesting. It's not something that we see a lot also.
Yeah. It was definitely like surprising now that we're in the festival circus, the film is actually getting a lot of attention for an educational program, like a lot of for example, I think the New York Department of Education, they did a screening and they included the film. And then there was another festival who did like a youth screening program. And it's really heartwarming to see that it's being accepted and being shown to like teenage who now they have a chance to see that. But when I was growing up, there was nothing like this.
Yeah, exactly. It's really educational. So it's super interesting. And can you what do you think is the most important thing to know when you start a career in filmmaking? Do you have any advice for young filmmakers?
I would say trust yourself. Sometimes I feel like we all kind of like feel that we can't do something, but at the end of the day, if you believe you can do it, you can do it. And then one of the most important thing with filmmaking is that everything is about collaboration. So it's really important to learn how to collaborate with different people. And there's so many different personality in the film industry. And we really had to learn like to work with everyone because you really can't make a film by yourself. And the most important thing is definitely communication. Communication is like usually what causes the problem if you don't communicate. So if you communicate, sometimes a lot of the issue can be resolved. So I would say, yeah, collaboration and communication is very important in filmmaking.
Very nice advice. Thank you.
Thank you.
And can you give us a hint about your upcoming projects?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on finishing my second feature, Young Kings, which is about African American soldier who came back from Iraq in around 2004, and he had PTSD, but he wasn't able to get the support he needed because the way he was discharged. And his family tried to help him, but they weren't able to do it because it's really like financially burden for a family to do that out of pocket without any like help from the government system. So it's a story about like mental health, PTSD, and the system of how the United States government is treating their soldier. And I would say it's a really like heartwarming, important topic to discuss, and especially nowadays. And we are currently in post-production, so we're hoping to finish this month and then start submitting to festival this year.
Nice, awesome. So mental health, it's we can see it a lot in your movies, right? The issue about the mental health. Nice.
Yeah.
And where can we follow you and your projects?
You can find me on my personal website, which is my first name, last name, selenaleoni.com, or my LinkedIn and even IMDb. Yeah, usually those are the best way to keep track.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here today, and best of luck for the awards this year for our
Thank you.
festival. So
Thank you for including us. It was really
you're welcome. Such a nice film. So good luck with it, and I'll talk to you later about it.
yeah.
Thank
Thank you.